I just went for a run. I'm sitting in a beautiful sunset. The spring weather is upon me. My seasonal depression is slowly fading away. Not quite there, but I feel the process has started. And for the longest time, I've been trying to avoid these two words, midlife crisis. I would call it identity crisis. I would call it whatever. It felt like if I were to say those words out, I would admit defeat. I would admit that I'm just like everyone else. And I don't know why I was so scared to say that because I am like everyone else. There's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about anyone. Any influencers, celebrities, movie stars, TV stars, whoever you can think of, at their core, they're the same as us. It's just their profession is different. Their profession might be more desirable, more talked about. But yeah, I am having this midlife crisis. I'm 27 years old right now. I moved to a new country, and it's not that anything in particular is wrong. It's as nothing is wrong, but everything feels wrong. I'm trying to flesh that out. I wanted to do it at home, but what if I do that in real time, right here outside? Just myself and nature. I have no wallet on me. I have no water. I'm dehydrated. I need water. I should go home right now. I don't even have a key to my home, so if someone were to lock the door, I'll be stuck outside until someone is home. And it's okay. Let's talk money first. That's mainly everybody's big issues. Money. A lot of people cannot live the lives they want to because of money. I don't particularly have that reason. I have a decent amount of money in my saving. I am not going to go broke anytime soon. I can live the way I live for the next 2, 3 years comfortably, and that's excessive living, as you can tell by my channel. So if I were to budget correctly, I can last myself for a very long time. I have great support systems, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 even. My family, they're lovely. Everyone in my family. If I were to fall, if I were to say, hey, I don't have a home to live anymore, they would come together and send me money. And they wouldn't ask for it back because, my family has a really great definition of what a family is. We don't judge, or we do judge in our own bedrooms, but if someone needs the support, they would get the support. And so nothing in particular is wrong, but I can afford certain products, but I can't afford every product that I want. So you see, that's the essence of what I just said, is that nothing in particular is wrong, but everything feels wrong. But it's not enough for me to complain. It's not like if I don't get it, I would not survive. It's small dumb issues with money that I have. We bought a house recently. It's a good house. It's not a great house. Every time we drive by a nice zip code, we will see these beautiful houses with built-in garage with a pool in the backyard, and that's what I want. But I'm also 27, and then now we got to talk about comparison. I do my very best to try not to compare myself to people you see on the internet, but it's hard sometimes when you're in that mood, when you're in that pessimistic, when you're saddened by your midlife crisis. You compare, you see people driving Porsche, you see people having more clothes than you see people having, a better family vacation, a better solo vacation. All of these small, dumb things just gets to me, and at the moment, they're getting to me. And, I live in a great country. I live in Germany. Everything is great. We have train system, we have food, grocery, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not living in poorly developed countries such as the Philippines, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, or anything of that nature where a lot of things can be wrong. But nothing in particular is wrong, but everything is wrong. What else can I talk about? We can talk about my hair. I don't have the greatest hairline. This thing is going away. The bald spot is, you've seen another video, maybe I'll put a clip, but I'm not particularly insecure about my hair, but if I can fix it, that'd be great, And we live in a great time now where I can go to Turkey and get it done. So you see, that's another thing. Nothing in particular is wrong, but everything feels wrong. Or should I readjust that to small things feels wrong? Maybe I'll flesh this out sooner, but I want this to be as raw as I can. I got the idea while I was running, and I don't know, man. It feels a bit selfish to feel this way. All of the great things that I have in my life, all of the great things that people would envy me for, the beautiful clothes, the great country I live in, You know, all of these things that I have that people would genuinely die for, yet I feel something is wrong. I feel it's incredibly selfish. It's borderline sociopathic. I don't even know if I'm using that word correctly, but it feels just completely wrong to feel this way, to have so much yet feel so inadequate. You know, at the core, you know, what's that a Maslow hierarchy of needs? I've taken care of like 3 or 4 of them. It's really just, it's not even the top. I've taken care of all 5 or 6 systems of the Maslow hierarchy of needs, but there's something missing, and there's nothing missing in particular. I'm a bit like I'm a bit like my wife. She has this habit of just knowing when something is wrong, but when I ask, okay, what's the correct answer? She doesn't have it either. And at the moment, I feel that sentiment. And, you know, that's her prerogative. She can feel however she feels. She's another human being, but let's keep this on me. I, you know, as a person from an immigrant background, I came from something a lot worse in Germany. So I feel I feel as though I am wasting this great opportunity, whereas many of my comrades back in Cambodia, many of my compatriots, whatever word is correctly used here, that they would not squander this opportunity, this amazing opportunity. So every day that I'm not being productive, I feel like I'm letting people down. And then there's really no one in particular putting pressure on me to be productive. I have a lot of excuses that I can use, but none of that mean anything in the sense that it's an excuse to make myself feel better, but no one else is like saying that I'm doing something wrong. It's internal pressure. And just sitting out here, seeing the trains going back and forth. Let me show you. I am in this park right here. You see all these trains, all these cars, and it's a bit, there's a lot going wrong. There's a lot in life that is wrong right now, you know. I keep up with the news around the world. You see so many terrible things happening around the world. And this is going to come off as super selfish, but when I see those things around the world, I'm just thinking to myself, I am not making the most of my situation. Maybe this is the immigrant mindset, but there is. If you would have asked me, hey Makasy, what can we do to make your life feel better? I wouldn't have an answer for you, because every answer I would give you, it would sound super, super wealthy, despite not wealthy. You know, I'm not rich, but I'm not poor. I'm in the middle, lower half of the middle to be precise. So there's nothing in particular that is wrong. Just maybe this is a good time to note that I have anxiety and I haven't been taking my meds. Okay, let me tell you that now. I moved to Germany in July. It is now March. And I had a decent amount of medicine within me. I take Prozac for my anxiety and depression. And I stopped. Now, to the people outside, which is half truth, is that I stopped because I felt like I didn't need it anymore. But the other half, or the other 20-30%, was that I don't have insurance yet. We're working out a problem to take care of my insurance in Germany, but it's taking longer. Germany bureaucracy is a lot harder to fight. So I am insuranceless. So partially of why I stopped taking Prozac was that I was scared that once it's over, it's gone. But now that I don't take it, I feel like I have a bit more control within me. Whereas if I need it, it's right there, it's available. Even though it's counterintuitive, because the Prozac, it takes a week or two to truly process your body, to regulate your mood, to regulate your anxiety, because I take the lowest dosage, which is 10 milligrams. But yeah, we're in the process of getting my health insurance. So once I do have my health insurance back, I definitely will start taking it again. And nobody knows this, by the way. My family will see this for the first time. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this video. There's really no point. Like, I'm not asking for pity, because there's nothing to pity me for. I have a great life. So if anything, I'm if I post this, I'm inviting criticisms, and most of them will be valid. Some of them will be from people who just likes to hate on things because they, that's how they get their dopamine. But if you give me constructive criticism, they will all be valid because I am in this great country. I'm not struggling. I have my Maslow of needs taken care of, hierarchies of needs taken care of. It just nothing in particular is wrong, but nothing in particular feels right. Everything doesn't completely feel right. And I think now is a good time to talk about my other belief, which is why try so hard when everything is gonna end in oblivion? Oblivion. The end is death. To try is to play the game, and I don't want to play the game. I just want to live life, and just when it's my time to die, I will die peacefully. I hope nothing, crazy. I just want to die in my sleep, or someone put a bullet to me. I just want a quick death. It doesn't have to be painless, because once I die, my fear is that they don't kill me. They just make me injured, and I have to stay in the hospital for a long time. So, however death will come for me, I'm not scared. And that's something that my family doesn't quite get about me. So, okay, so let me tell you a story. I was in Cambodia, and I was talking to my grandmother. She's, 80 something, so her time is almost up. And I asked her, "Are you scared of death?" She said, "Yes, I am terrified of death." And then I told her, "Why are you scared of death?" And then she didn't say anything. It got too uncomfortable, and we switched topic. And I completely understand why she's afraid of death, Some people cling on to life because that's all we know. But for me, I don't particularly enjoy life most of the time. I don't play the game either. So I'm on the train. I am with other people on the train, and we're just going where the train takes us. And the destination, death, it will come. And whoever's in the first cart will die first. I am somewhere in the middle and at the end because I'm quite young. I'm 27. I live in Germany, great country. If I were to fall ill, medicine is great here. So I am not scared of death. I am scared of almost dying. So whoever is out there to get me, please kill me correctly. Don't almost kill me. Don't do the 95% job. 100%. Go above and beyond. Throw a bomb at me. Like, snipe at my head. Don't shoot at my arms. Shoot at my head or my heart. Make sure I die. Do your job correctly. If you hit me by a car, go 95 miles per hour. Don't go 30 because there's a chance that I might live. So I'm not scared of death. And, I hate this. I hate this idea that suicide is selfish. I'm working on a paper right now. Not a paper. I'm working on a video right now about why suicide is not, what's the word? Suicide is not self-indulgent. It's not selfish. Suicide is the final answer to someone who doesn't have an answer to the questions they've been asking. I hope some of that makes sense. For someone to arrive at that answer, it must have taken them months, years even, because they can't see a way out. And they finally realize, I hope they do, they finally realize that this game is not worth living. This game is not worth trying. So I actually admire people who go through with it. And I can flesh out the nuances of the topic of suicide later, but that's my belief. I hate that saying of, if you kill yourself, you're hurting family around you. But what about the person themselves? They're hurting so badly that the only answer they know is to end it all. So to tell that to someone who failed at a suicide attempt, who attempted suicide, it's dumb. It doesn't make sense to me. And that's not a good talking point to try to make someone not commit suicide. Like, hey, if you kill yourself, you're going to hurt everyone around you. But what about that person? Well, I know this video is all over the place. I'm probably not going to put anything. I want this to be as raw as possible. I don't have any script. I don't have anything. I got the idea while I was running. Obviously, I'm repeating a few things here and there. Some of it will not make complete sense. Don't poke hole in this. Don't get lost in the sauce. Just the main idea is this is the first time in a couple of months now that I've got myself to admit that I'm having a midlife crisis, and that I'm not admitting defeat, but I'm admitting that I am not different than anyone else. And maybe the reason why I want to record this, and I'm kind of choking up a little bit, and it's, I don't know why. Um, the reason I want to post about this is I hope in months from now, years from now, I can look back at this and say, I have improved a lot. That mindset was bad, but it was necessary to go through that. It was necessary for me to feel that way at that particular moment, and it set me on the right path. That's my goal. And to anyone watching this, don't just take what you can out of this. Maybe this is a source of entertainment, because I do believe that, hearing how another person thinks is good. Oh, okay. I have one more topic I want to talk about. There's ants or bugs all over me. Over centralizing your jobs. I've been applying for jobs, and a lot of jobs come up as consultant, as advisors, and I'm just like, consultant, what do they really do? It's this idea, okay, let's talk about fashion. You hear it from like Prada, Musha, and Raf. They do this often. They over intellectualize their collection. It's a dumb, simple suit look, but then they're like, we're rebellious. We're fighting the system. Blah blah blah. Prada, you are the system. You are one of the big four or big five. You are not fighting the system of anything. You are one of the main system that everyone else is fighting. So over intellectualizing yourself and your work. It's like when people ask me sometimes, like, hey, what do you do in your past life? I was a restaurant worker. I'll be like, I'm a manager, but I was working at a small restaurant. Saying I'm a manager is like saying I'm a train conductor when I ride a train. No, I'm just there. I do everything that's not a good example, but I hope you know what I mean. It's just we over intellectualize everything we do because we want people to admire us. We don't want to make it look too easy. That's what we do, is too easy. And I'm in this corporate world, and it's just like vice president, senior advisor, junior advisor, vice president, president, CEO, whatever. It's just like, what do you do daily? And a lot of people have a hard time, because if they were to tell you exactly what they do daily, it would sound a lot easier than what it is by simply their title. And that is what I hate about the corporate world. And I'm going to the corporate world. I have to. That's the path that pays, because YouTube is a fun side hobby right now, but it's not going to pay the bills. So when I get into that world, I know how to operate within that world. I have this idea that I would do whatever my boss tell me to their satisfaction, to not what I believe is right, to not what I believe is correct in the first few years, because you got to ingratiate yourself within the system. You got to learn. You can't just be out. You can't just start by trying to overthrow the entire system. But if I were to become CEO of a company, if I were to start my own company one day, I will get rid of all of those dumb titles. You are not the manager. You are not the vice president of anything. You work here. When people ask you, here, I'm going to tell you exactly what you do. Here's your task. And don't be embarrassed of what you do. Don't try to over intellectualize what you do. This thing has become a bit angry. But yeah, I don't like that. And I do that too. I want to say that. I do that too. Everyone does. We over intellectualize what we do. Like, when people ask me, hey man, YouTube, is it hard? I'm like, it's pretty hard. It's not. YouTube is not that hard. You just have to get started. With editing, with shooting, there's a guidebook, sure, but the best guidebook, in my opinion, is to do it, make mistakes, learn from it. You can learn everything about ISO. You can learn everything about exposure, but it's like driving. You can learn about driving, but once you start driving, it will be different. It will be new, because there are a lot more pressures. When you shoot outside the way I do with all my gears, it's the setup time is actually a lot longer to get to the destination, to set up the shot, to look for the shot, to set up the setting. That's the hardest part. Walking in front of the camera awkwardly is not the hard part. So it's not hard to do. Any job is not hard. Like, people at the moment, people really love the role of CEO. They think, oh, it's the best job because it's the hardest job. No, it's not. a job is a job. You know, it's just maybe at a larger scale instead of at a $10,000 business, it's at $1 billion business, $1 million business. But at its core, any job is not hard because to get to the CEO place, you have learned. You climb the ladder, the corporate ladder. So you've learned how to do things. So it's when you watch TV shows of like cops, you see the regular cops become the director of whatever, and then they said they miss being in the field because now they're just pushing paperwork. Yes, it comes with a great deal of power, but being a manager, director, or CEO of anything, it's just you're not in the field anymore. You're taking care of the bigger questions. So you're not doing the daily thing. You're doing the long term thinking, vision. That's what it really is. I don't know where this video is going. I guess, yeah. I think the main idea is that for the first time in a long time, I have admitted defeat. In that I've admitted that I'm having a midlife crisis. I don't know what to do with my life. I'm in this new land. I have a degree in marketing. I'm good at marketing, but I don't have the practice. So I can say I'm good at it from a study standpoint, but since I've never put the theories into real life world, who's to say that I'm good at it? What if I'm completely wrong? What if I don't read people as well as I think I do? What if I don't know how to put what if it's just all talk, which is one of my fear. I hate people who are all talk. So I don't really talk a lot about what I can do. I rather prove it. So what if I'm just good at marketing theoretically, but not good in the day to day? And also another thing, what the fuck is a marketing degree? Marketing is a dumb job. Yes, it's needed because if you have a great product, you need to market it. But to be in the field of marketing, it's fucking stupid. And there's no one else to blame for what I did with my college. I chose marketing. Nobody else forced me into it. I chose marketing. It was all my doing. Well, I chose business, and then I took a few accounting classes. I knew I didn't want to do that in my life. I thought marketing would be exciting because you can come up with ideas for a poster, for a movie. But to get into the field of anything is so hard. Well, nothing in the corporate world is actually based on merits. It's based on networking. It's who you know. And, I applied for jobs. I've got rejected tens of times, hundreds of times maybe now in the past few months that I've been applying. And, for the most part, I don't really care that I got rejected because my life is not going to change much if I don't get that job. I have enough money in my saving. I have a great family that I'm super appreciative that they're giving my family and my wife and I a house to live in. So it's not a life or death. Whereas other people, if they don't get a job, they're sleeping outside. I would never have to face that. So for me to complain about life, it's fucking selfish. Back on the topic of marketing, I don't know what I'm going to do with that shitty degree. And there's no one to blame but me. I chose marketing. No one forced me into it. The corporate world confuses me. I hope if I get in there, I don't stay in there too long. I've heard stories from my friends from Instagram, friends in real life, where the corporate world drains them mentally. Yeah, it's great pay, but it just... Okay, more complaining. Being in a cog in a system, that belief that the government is essentially, using us to grow itself. We are just one cog in a big machine. When we die, they will replace it, and we are doing the replacement themselves. We birth children into this life, and then the government will use our children to continue this machine. To essentially, we're lubricant to the big machine. We're just trying to keep it pushing forward, and this the end. The earth, I feel like the earth is farming us, in a way. So if we are just caught in a machine, why don't we all just fucking kill ourselves? Just throw the machine off a cliff with us. I don't like who I am right now. I don't like what I've become lately. Being negative, but this is genuine. But for 99% of the time, I'm positive. Having this midlife crisis, having this identity crisis, it has made me negative. I will fight to stay positive, but it's a fight that I don't win 100% of the time. And I don't want to be fake to YouTube, to people watching this. I don't want to make other people feel bad. And I know my content sometimes do that. I've talked about it. I don't know if the video is out, but whenever someone tried to say, man, I wish I had your closet, man, I wish I had your life, it seems great. My life is not better than yours. We just have different issues. We have different problems. Well, yes, money isn't a big problem to me, but this identity crisis of mine hurts me internally. Yeah, I think we can end it there. Oh, by the way, editor Makasy, don't do anything to this. Just upload it as it is, because sometimes I try to kill the dead air time, but keep it raw. I'm just making a mental note to myself. The video is essentially over. Here's the view. Here's what I'm looking at while I'm saying all of these negative things. Oh, my hand is full of dirt. My legs are dirty. I'm sweaty. It's hot. Sunny. So I do value this quiet time. Okay, let's talk about one more thing before I go. Quiet time. The world is so noisy, and I'm not speaking about the physical noise. Sometimes it's just the mental noise. I don't know how I'm gonna make sense of it. I just have to hope that you guys feel the same way as me, or know what I'm going through, know what I'm talking about. There's so much responsibility that we have to do. Everything feels life-threatening. Everything feels like life or death. And then when we do it, it's nothing. Health insurance, we apply, bureaucracy, it's bad, but we've done everything. So now it's just my wife and I freaking out. Okay, what else do we need to do? We've done everything. Hello. Are you? Sunam. No. Anyway, that dog kind of made my mood a bit better, but I need to be negative right now. What was I talking about? I can't obviously rewind this. Noises. Yeah, noises. The world is okay. I shouldn't say the world then. My brain is so polluted by all of the noises, all of the internal pressure that I put on myself to have this quiet time. And it's still noisy out right now. I don't know if the audio will catch it, but the physical world is noisy, but right now I feel at peace. I feel as though I've escaped, or I put a timeout on my responsibility. Speaking of, I don't have any responsibility. I am jobless. I am staying at home. I can do whatever I want. I just have to keep applying for work, get mentally drained out by when I get all the rejection letters. So there's no actual responsibility, but there are so many responsibilities. What's that quote? We suffer more in our imagination than in real life. That's me right now. For 7-8 months now, that's me. And I try not to use any excuses. I have many. I will not use them. I just have to solve one problem at a time. If I solve one, it's a ripple effect. What I've noticed is people group their problems into a big boulder. I do a really good job at minimizing or categorizing each problem. But sometimes when you solve one problem, you solve the rest. For example, if I solve the problem of finding a job right now, it would solve my free time, and the fact that I'm not being, and the fact that I'm letting people in Cambodia down. If I get a job, I would be productive. I would be taking advantage of my time, of my location, of my privilege. So once I solve that job problem, it will solve so many more problems. If I solve the housing problem, I will solve another series of problems. So, and then, okay, We solve all the, let's say I solve all the problems I have in my head. Let's say if I sit down right now, I write down all my problems, I solve all of it. Tomorrow there will be more problems. It's an endless cycle. Okay, my wife and I recently got into a small fight over this. When we were cleaning the, well, she was cleaning the car. She cleaned it super well. She went above and beyond. She broke her back. She cleaned the car super well. My philosophy is a car is like clothes. We don't have to clean it that well. Let's just do 90%, 95%. It's gonna get dirty anyway. We clean it to the best of our ability. We don't have to do it to perfection. So that's, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going with this. This video is just complaining after complaining. The fuck is wrong with me? And then I feel even more stupid. I'm complaining even though my life is fucking great. Life is a paradox. My whole entire personality is a paradox. Can we talk about death real quick? This video is 31 minutes now. Let's talk about death real quick. When I die, let's say I run back there. Let's say I run across that bridge, right? And then a bike going super fast just hit me and killed me right there. I hope that's the end. I grew up as a Buddha, and in Buddha there's a thing called samsara where you keep on being reborn, which is suffering. The goal is to escape samsara. I don't know if I'm using samsara, yeah. And then you escape samsara, you go to nirvana, you escape this cycle of suffering. Life is inherently suffering according to Buddha, I think, as far as I know, and I don't know shit. When I die, I hope I don't see someone with the book saying, Makasy, let's analyze your life. Let's see if you're going to be reborn again, if you escape. When I die, I just want it to stop. I want all the noises to stop. I just want it to be silent. I don't want to have emotions. I don't want to have wants. I don't want to have needs. I do believe that life is suffering, and I'm a subscriber to Albert Camus' absurdism. So I recognize the absurdity of life, which is why I'm not trying so fucking hard, because, it's a fucking game, and I'm not going to play the game. I'm going to play by my own rules. I'm going to play my own game within the game, the parameter that was set by me. Right now, my game is in Germany. The location is Germany, so I'm playing within the German map. When I die, I just want it to be the complete end. I do not want to be reborn. I do not want to go to heaven. I do not want to go to hell. I just want it all to just be silent. I just want peace. That's what I want. And I don't think I'm in the minority of anything. I'm sure there are people out there who feel the same way as I do. There are 7-8 billion people around the world. I'm not the only one with this thought process. So that's what I want out of death. Some people cling onto religion because they fear death so much they want to keep on living. While there are a lot of great things with life, with being alive, there are also a lot of bad things. So when I die, I just want it to end. I should go home. 1, because my phone is almost dying. 2, it's 34 minutes of me talking bullshit, complaining about life while having quite a privileged life, while living quite a privileged life. But okay, I want to end this on a somewhat positive note. There has been people walking by me, and I'm speaking at full volume, not full volume where I'm screaming, but I'm speaking as though I'm in a room by myself, and this is great progress for me because I get anxious from talking or doing things in public. Right now, I'm just sitting. I'm looking at a camera, looking at my phone. I'm sure some people will think I'm crazy, but I'm proud of myself to be able to do this in public. Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on. In the next video, we'll talk fashion, but please don't compare your life to mine. It's not bad, but it's not great. We just have different problems. Goodbye.